dear Scorpio, this is a love reading, a prediction for the month of January with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. As an extended member to the channel, you will get these readings ahead of time and with no ads. And the readings 2022 love prediction is up for the full members to this channel. And a gift of 2022 is up for all the members. We will reveal what you have to look forward to in 2022. Extended and full members can also order readings from me with a 30% discount after the holidays. Subscribe and then check out the many perks through the join button that will appear, or follow the link in the description box to learn more about membership. I can recommend that you rewatch the previous love reading for December to get a context. And this is the prediction for January. And I will start reading your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto De Angelis. When I open your deck here, I see the High Priestess together with the Knight of Swords in reversed. So this seems like you have had some kind of point in an argument, or maybe you were just smarter than your opponent or your partner in some way, and it seems like they didn't take it that well, okay? You came in, said, calm, wise words, and this person got really upset with you, at least on the inside. Doesn't have to be shown on the outside, but it's almost like they got super irritated with you saying something smart or doing something smart, or just being you, basically. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have the Hierophant. Okay, so and now they are running to some kind of authority to get fuel or some ammunition to be able to bring you down in some way. So this is almost like, it's a little bit almost like the behavior you can see sometimes with fanatic groups. Let's say that you are maybe arguing with someone and they say, well, it says so in the Bible or in the Quran. So basically they don't have more arguments. They're just taking a book and banging it in your head. So it's something similar to this, where the person isn't really having, they can't really win over you, or they can't really make, they're trying to squish, or they want whatever you said to go away. They don't want that to be the truth, or they don't want you to hold the truth. They want to be able to smack you with a book is what I'm getting here. Okay. So they are basically running to daddy and said, this is what they said. Tell me what I should say back so that I will win over my friend here. Okay. Or my lover. So I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we see disappointment with this Knight of Swords. So I'm trying to understand this. Why are they now disappointed? But 5 is connected to the 5, the Hierophant that we saw. So maybe they didn't find the ammunition that they wanted. So they can't hit you with this truth that they hoped to find. Okay. Sometimes when argument fails, the person will start to behave in immature ways instead. We'll see how this goes. 6, the 6, I call the 6 elements, and here we have the 7 of Swords in reversed. They just want to win over you. So it can be like this. You say that, well, it's not a good idea to travel here at this point because of this and this. You have some argument. And they really wanted to travel there, but they know that your argument was better than theirs. So they're trying to get like relatives or someone else to persuade you that what you're saying are wrong, even though they believe that you are right. But you being right is very upsetting to them, because they don't like what it's implying or what that's saying, that they can't have freedom, or that they can't do what they want, or that the safe world which they thought they were living in was not that safe. So it's something that's really upset them. You just said something casual that came, straight from the horse's mouth. It came like you just said it. It was the truth. It was clear as day. And this kind of is a trigger this person to run around and try to basically win over you, but not maybe with the best means. Like they're trying to do this even with lying, saying that, my mother said that she's going to be so disappointed if we are not there that day, even though she never said that. And maybe she even said, maybe it's a good idea because of the weather, or because this or that. Okay, so 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. So I want my dear Scorpios to have love in their life and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so I'm thinking it's starting to become a little bit dark. I will just see if this will make any positive change. It will blink a little bit. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay, so I'll just tune in for a few seconds here to you and the person most on your mind and your relationship in January. So this is the new bottom of the deck. So it's Judgment. It's 20. 2 plus 0 is 2, which correlates with the high priestess that we saw in the beginning. So what you said was common sense. What you argumented for with very small words was common sense. You just presented something and it made another person, or even a group of person, go through the roof. Okay. And this is the old bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles in the reversed. So this is not particularly helpful people. Maybe you have avoided saying these kind of truths in the past because there was not, you knew that no one would care for, the truth, or how they didn't want to have the truth served anyway, or they didn't want to make, the relationship better, or even the world to a better place. So I'm feeling as if you have been expecting this kind of behavior already. So, but now you just had to say the truth, and it had these consequences with, setting someone's ass on fire, and now they are upset, and you knew that they would be upset, but it's merely just, the truth. So it's not much to be upset about. Okay. So this is what's on your mind with the person most on your mind. This is the situation with said person. This is what's on their mind with you. And this is your behaviors and attitudes. This is your feelings, and this is the bond between you and the other person. This is their feelings. This, however, is your behaviors and attitudes. Outcome for January. And the other person's behaviors and attitudes. So we start with the situation, and we have another 2, the 2 of Wands. It's almost like you see where you need to go, or where your relationship needs to go, or where the world needs to go, or your family needs to go. You know that this is what's going to have to happen eventually, but you're not you're not convinced that you will get other people on board, or that they will understand this truth, or that they can understand why you came to this conclusion. So it feels as if you already know what's going to happen, but you don't know how to tell this to other people. So for example, you might see that your partner has a personality issue and they're going to have to work on it. But you don't know how to get them on board with this. This is the only viable way forward if you're going to have a good relationship. But you know that they will fight you every inch of the way. So this is just, I'm just feeling like I know this is what's going to happen, or this is how we have to do thing, or this needs to be the next step forward. But you know that there's going to be a reaction. And here is what's on your mind, with the person most on your mind. And we have a 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's almost like a broken home. It could have been like a healthy home. You could have all been on the same page and working towards the goals together. With if the 8 of coins would have been in the upright and this have been in the upright. But unfortunately, you feel lonely here. You want to accomplish something that's sustainable, healthy, and good, but it seems like your partner or even the rest of the world, I'm feeling like a wider perspective on this for some reason. It can be, for example, that you see that how to solve big world problems, for example with starvation, but no one wants to solve the problem because it's better if it's not solved, because I'm just looking out for my own interest. So if most people are just looking out for their own interest, but you see that it could be peace on earth if everyone had their needs met, but no one wants to go along with this with you and have a lot of arguments why they don't need to help the people that's starving. It's just an example, but it's I'm kind of seeing it in a bigger perspective for some reason. Maybe you are working with these situations both inside the relationships with your dear ones, but maybe you're also working on this on a broader perspective where you see the same thing is happening with other people or in larger groups. Okay, this is what's on their mind with you, and it's 11. So we have had all the cards of this with the judgment and justice, and being able to have wisdom. 20 judgment, 11 justice, and 2 the high priestess. They are all connected with the 2. It's about big choices, being able to see things from a higher perspective, being able to make good decisions that's good for not only me, myself, but for everyone. Seeing the red thread and being able to make a verdict out of that. So I think this person knows that you are right, but they don't like it, okay? They don't want that to be the truth, and it's almost like they feel as if you are sitting on your high horses, like with this knowledge, and it's boundlessly irritating for me. I'm feeling as if I'm getting really upset with you for knowing this and also being so cool with it. It's as if I want to scare you or break you down so that you will be as scared as I am, but you're just this cold, this is how it is. I can't change it. It's the truth. I'm sorry. And I want you to, have a reaction or be dramatic about it, or I want to come with my argument, so I will break you, and you will show your true colors, that you're not that cool and you're not that it's almost like you're a little bit indifferent. You're not indifferent, you just you have acceptance. I think you see where you need to go. For example, you know that your partner needs therapy and you would love to go to couples therapy with them, because you see that how things are now, you can't solve your problems like just the two of you. So you know that this needs to happen, or we are going to break apart, and it's not much you can do. You just think that there's a solution, but I can't force my partner to take this solution, and they're probably going to say no to this solution. So you have the solution, but you also have acceptance that you can't always get what you want, basically. So you're being cool about it because you're not resisting that things will possibly break apart. And I think this is what's making the person upset, because they want you to be on their level, like dramatic or whining, screaming, being scared out of your, your wits and running around. But you are just like, okay, so it's either this or this. It's not much to, make a fuss about. And I think that makes them upset in some way. Would want to know a little bit more. I feel lonely without you. Okay, they probably want you to be scared together with them and to be, not having the solutions together with them. They don't want you, they feel like you're in a distance from them because you have already seen the solution, and you have also seen that they are incapable of providing what it needs to come to that solution. And so they feel lonely because they are kind of on their rope's end, and they don't have you there because you are not on your rope's end. You see that this can be solved like this, or we don't solve it. But it's hard sometimes to read into another person's mind, because I might not function as they do. If I see a problem, I will do something about it. I'm not going to be, scared and just become frozen or stay in anxiety and not solve my problems. I would solve my problems, but it seems like this person is very scared of trying to even solve their problems, and they feel lonely when you are not scared with them. Inside me, I scream your name. Okay. So they're upset with you, but in the same time, they kind of need you, and they need the truth that you are delivering, but they are opposing it or being upset with it. And I'm not entirely sure why. It seems like they are, making a hen out of a feather. And here we have the bond between you two. So this is why we have these yellow, pale, beige cards, because there's a distance between you. You have already accepted that you might not be able to stay partners or friends, because this person is, they don't have the capacity to do what needs to be done to stay in a healthy situation. It's something to do with their fear. And you're just accepting that because it's not your fear. You're just accepting, okay, I might need to go on without them because they seem to be breaking down in front of my eyes. So, and you don't make a big fuss about it. But for them, it's both a disaster what you're asking of them, and also if you wouldn't be there with them through this. So it's very strange. It's almost like a person constantly being upset with you and angry with you, even though you're right, and then being, super scared that you would leave. But I guess with them being this upset and, making the hen out of this feather, that could be the incitement for you to leave or to give up on them. So they are not being very rational. And this is your feelings towards them. So this it almost says like, oh, we had a good run, but now I'm dropping the ball on you and, getting out of the picture. It's just a fading energy. It's just a fading emotion. Earth, Virgo, this is just double Earth. And it shows that you're not as into this as you were before. It's not important for you to convince them or to argue with them or to have them come over to your side. It's like either they are coming over or they are not. And if they are not, you are letting the situation go, it seems. You're just stepping away from it, and you want I don't think you will stress too much about this. It's sad, maybe, but it's also just what's going on. You can't change anything, so just accepting it. And this is their feelings, and we have Ace of Wands in the reverse. So it's both feeling weak, but also being like angry. And I'm still not 100% understanding, but I don't know your situation. So if I knew like your situation, I would probably know a little bit more why they are so weak in this situation. Think about you every day. So the clues are that they are very much focused on you, but they don't like the messages that you're coming with. It's making them super upset. And maybe you have given them some ultimatum, or you're telling them that the world isn't as it was, like the sky isn't blue, it's green, and something else that's making them super upset. And they can't really digest what it is that you're saying. Even if it's the truth, maybe it's above their head in some way. For example, let's say that it has to do with that you know something that they also know intuitively, but they don't want to know it. They want to live in their cozy little world and, the rules of the Bible or the Quran, and just, go with what is known. They don't want anything new come and rattling things up, or saying, no, now it's not like this anymore, it's like this, and now we need to, change how we live or change how we do things because of this new information. So it's almost like when scientists, they have spent their whole life building on a certain theory, and then you come and say, well, it's wrong, it's because it's this and this and that and that. And they realize the truth in your logic and in your arguments, but they also feel totally abandoned because they have put all this effort into being this person or presenting this theory, or like their whole career, their whole life is built upon this this idea that now you have proven it to be false, and it's super upsetting. So it can be so many ways. For example, that it can be a masculine feminine thing, that they think that the masculine should rule the relationship, and then they come together with you, and you are the feminine, and you realize that they realize that you are much smarter than them, and much more equipped to make the decision. So this might make them, because it's their whole life was built upon this assumption, and then they realize it's not true, and then they got really upset. I'm not saying that females are always smarter than males. I'm just saying like a scenario. It can of course be the other way around as well. The feminine believe that they will always rule the situation, and then come a masculine that's super smart, super wise, and said, but so cool it, don't be so dramatic, this is how we will do it. And okay. So for the sense of equalness, I will say that, so you understand. And this is from your point of view. I want to marry you, we belong together, your love kickstart my healing, and I have father issues. I think all of this is true. I think you love this person immensely, and you have you had a lot of solutions for how to work forward. You had a lot of empathy for them. You could have given them your whole life. 10 of Pentacles is like, we could stay together forever, be married. But you're ready to let this go, because you're realizing you can't force another person to see things in the way that you see them, even if that means that you both give up chances of happiness which you could have had together. So during this relationship or this situation, they have done things that have made you like it has kick-started your healing process. So with their resistance to whatever you saw, whatever you needed, whatever you saw was healthy, and they maybe didn't do that at all, they did the opposite, it actually made you stronger. I can see this because you have just accepted that you can't change another person. But then the father issues, I think it comes from this, with you being your own authority, and you would of course like to lean towards another authority and be able to just let go of the responsibility and say, you will fix this for me. It would be so nice, you could finally rest, but unfortunately you can't, because the authority that you're trying to lean on is somewhat crazy, a little bit radical, illogic, maybe not truthful as well. We saw the 7 of Swords in the reversed. So you can't lean towards this person. You need to still stay and be your own father, be your own authority. You can't get the rest. You can't put down your arms, or you can't just give over your responsibility to another person and say, oh, take over the watch, I will sleep for the night. No, you need to stay awake. So this is what I'm feeling with this father issue here, that you haven't been able to relax responsibility to someone else because there's no one else responsible. So if you are not awake, if you don't see the truth, no one will. So that's your situation. So and since that's your situation, that's why you have given up on trying to convince anyone. It's okay with just you knowing the truth. The other people or this other person doesn't have to know it. You have told them many times, but they are unable to take in the wisdom of what you have been saying, and therefore you feel very lonely. So I feel like for the sense of justice again, I will take another card for their side here. I predicted family issues on our relationship. So I think more like old ideas of how a family should work or how a society should work, that this is how it should be. That person says something and we all listen, but you say no, but it's wrong. I've seen the fault in their logic, and now you have turned everything on end, and people are upset. Okay, so this is your behaviors and attitudes. 9 of Wands. It's kind of to be expected because, or you expected this. We saw that in the beginning, that you knew that the truth that you were saying was going to be upsetting to your peers or your person, and you knew that they weren't going to be on your side, and that you are the only one on your side here, really, truthfully. And it's just you need to stay strong. You can't just agree with faulty logic or an untruth, or staying in a unhealthy situation just because agreeing for the sake of agreeing. It's not a favorable road forward. So therefore you need to have some boundaries and stick to your guns, because a lot of guns will be pointed in your direction, is what I'm feeling. And this is their behaviors and attitudes, and we actually see something real beautiful here. It's the Sagittarius energy of temperance, or the alchemic process, someone taking in the opposite side. It's still here it's you're pouring this in, and the liquid, the water and the oil, it doesn't want to mix. It just it doesn't want to agree. So it's not ultimate solution, but it's almost like a chemical reaction, a person being very attracted towards your ideas and can't stop nagging you about it, because basically they want to hear more. They want to hear more of the truth, and be upset about it, react to it, oppose it, and still they want to hear more and hear more. So I think you have awakened something in this person, but at this stage, Sagittarius very closed off, Sagittarius very open. I think you are about to, step out of the game, but this person, they're kind of hungry for more. They scream and yell every time you say your truth, but they want to hear more because they recognize the truth when they hear it. Okay. And outcome, 4 of Cups in the reverse. I feel like this is you. It's almost like you have a student here. You don't want to teach it because it's always very upsetting. So it's this energy is the same energy, dropping the ball, not taking the offer. So I can't force you. Heaven can't force you either. You didn't feel super energetic going into this. You know the truth. You were reluctant to share it, and then you shared it, and it blew up in your face, and now it wants to continue blowing up and blowing up and blowing up. Question is, how much energy do I have to spend on situations where the person is just want drama and don't want to listen to reason? So I will see this person's intention. Twin flame, yin yang, zen balance, completing each other. So it seems like you're on schedule to have a little bit of 14, it's connected to 5, you know, the Hierophant, for example, but also the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. So being on edge with society, conflict, war, being excluded because you're not as them, and being disappointed with other people's behavior. So this is how it is to, you know, teach and learn from other people. We are not the same, so we will always feel like we are being rubbed the wrong way, and you don't like it. You just, you know, you don't want to be the one doing the rubbing here. But it seems like you have done a good job in waking something in this other person. We'll also see with this GYPSY oracle here, conversation in reversed. You are very, you don't have great many words, and maybe you need to take more time to, you know, put the seeds to the ground here, even if it's super upsetting and people get, you know, really on edge with what you're saying, and that can't be true, and how can you say something like that, and this must be fake news, for example, and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. But it's almost like the universe saying, be bothered, because we need this, or you need this, or your partner need this other side of the scale, you know, what's being mixed here, so that it can be balanced. So they need to hear this new truth, even if it's upsetting. And okay, so I'll see with the half hour already. Time flies. Trying to find the card for you here. What's going on with this deck? Okay, deep freeze. I think this is you again. It's you don't have the energy to waste on people that's you know, can't hear what you're saying anyway. You just want to support for the truth that you have found. You don't want to have to fight every time, you know, you are going to go to counseling and the other person isn't there. No, I decided I wouldn't go today. I don't believe in this anyway. You know, it's like, I don't have the energy. So I can fully understand this. And we can't tap into our deepest resources just to, you know, convince anyone else. If they don't want to be convinced, they don't want to be convinced. So, and so this reversed, nothing you can do right now will amount to anything substantial, no matter how much you try, push, manipulate, or cajole. Life wants you to take a break. You need to do this now, lest you become exhausted and be forced to rest. What you need will be there for you when you engage again in springtime. For now, winter has its own ideas for you. Wait for signs of spring. So it basically says, yes, you're still going to speak your truth, but maybe wait until this person has been able to, you know, digest a little bit more for themselves, and, you know, investigate it a little bit more for themselves, and maybe felt the consequence of what's happening if they refuse to go on counseling, for example, that then you are not engaging in the situation anymore. And maybe that will fuel a little bit more interest, so that you don't have to be the father and carry this whole situation. You don't have to be the one speaking the truth at all times. You know, when you have the inspiration, when you feel the need, speak your truth. Always speak your truth. But if you feel like you're speaking for deaf ears, you know, rest. Okay, take a rest. It's might be a waste of energy, and it's more helpful if you're not investing a lot, because then this person needs to start investing. Okay, so I'll show you this from above. So, my dear Scorpio, I would urge you to watch their true thoughts and feelings to get more information about this situation, or the love prediction to learn more. At my first channel page, you will find a playlist for your astrological sign, where you can watch all the latest readings for your specific sign in one single playlist. On the end screen, you will see a link to that playlist, so go and check it out. And thank you so much for watching, and take really good care until next time. Happy holiday seasons and a happy new year's to you all. Okay, bye bye.